Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Monahan with the Upwork Research Institute. I'm really excited to do a Q&A with you today on our most recent report, the Work Innovators. So let's dive into the top questions that are top of mind for leaders today. I've been studying the future of work for over a decade now. And I have to be honest with you, if you're leading an organization today, you know that you are being met with unprecedented shocks, and they're continuous, whether it's the global pandemic, geopolitical crisis, a mental health crisis within your workforce. And the reality is there is no playbook of how to navigate today's times. And so that's the reason why we created the Work Innovator report. We know that you need a new playbook, you need a new language, you need to understand the new workforce that you're working with. And because of that, we have done some deep research to help create that playbook to navigate today's trying times. For me, the overarching question is this: are you giving your people permission to work differently? Because to me, that changes everything. It's going to be hard to embrace flexible talent models. It's going to be hard to really understand how do you have effective distributed teams, let alone embrace new technologies like generative AI, if the people within your organization don't feel like they can actually have the permission to rework the work itself. So to me, that is the most fundamental question that's on our Work Innovator checklist that changes everything. Here's a framework I want to have you think about if you want to become a Work Innovator today. We know that there's unprecedented shocks that continue to put stress on your leadership and in your organizational model. And so the question is, what needs to break within your existing work structure? What is actually enduring and evergreen? And then where do you need to spend time innovating? If you want to become a work innovator, you have to acknowledge what's actually broken in your existing model. You have to be able to understand and have wisdom to know what is truly evergreen and what makes you different from the rest of your peers, and what needs to be true no matter what the next shock is. And then most importantly, and what I get really excited about, and what only 27% of organizational leaders told us they're focusing on, is where do you need to innovate? What new business model, what new opportunity, what new talent do you need to bring into your organization? What new ways of working in order for you to stay ahead? So by using this framework, you can begin to chart your path towards becoming a work innovator. And that's what I encourage you to do today. What's the biggest risk if you're not going to become a work innovator today? I'm going to give you the harsh reality because I see it in the data. The harsh reality is this: your survival depends on being a work innovator. And why would I make such a harsh statement? Well, here, let me give you the data behind this. As we look at the lifespan of companies that were on the S&P, in the 1940s, that number was 67 years, was the average lifespan a company could expect to be in the S&P 500. Do you know what that number is today? That is now down to 15 years. That's a dramatic decline in the way that organizations are surviving. And not just that, if we were to even zoom into present day reality, we see in the US alone over the last 6 months, there have been more bankruptcies that have been declared than we've seen since 2010. And so to me, what is the biggest risk of being a work innovator? It's that your business doesn't survive the next uncertain shock that's bound to come. Because it's not if, it's when the next wave of uncertainty is going to be knocking on your organization's doorstep. And if you don't begin to redesign the way you're working today, you might not be able to withstand the next shock that's coming. Be sure to read the full report and follow Upwork to learn more.